Hello and welcome to wenll's Guide to DPSing Durumu as a hunter. So there's pretty much nothing that goes on during this phase except something called Lingering Gaze and Force of Will. Force of Will, basically if that gets cast on you, it's just blue or this purpley thing in an AoE effect. Just sidestep it. If you get Lingering Gaze on you, you're going to either run directly onto the boss to drop it, or run to the outer edge of the platform to drop it. And it just leaves behind a little purple puddle. And pretty much those two mechanics aren't too hard. The hard mechanic is the one that we're about to get into. Basically what's going to happen is initially there will be 3 beams cast on people. And you'll also see for like 1 second where various mobs are along this whole thing. So how the beams work is once initially they'll be targeting a player, but then after that the blue and red will continue targeting a player, but the yellow will just randomly circle around the platform like it is right now. If you're melee, you want to be in red, healers want to be in blue, and yellow ranged want to be in yellow. What's going to happen is as it's circling around, blue wants to pretty much stay in the same place because you don't want to have it highlight a blue mob. Red, they want to actually circle around the entire platform so that they can and once they find a mob, they want to stop, everyone kills that mob, and then they do that until you found three mobs to kill. Blue, you can see I got Lingering Gaze, so I'm actually running out. And it's pretty much all about killing 3 mobs in that phase. Once you've killed the 3 main mobs in that phase, that phase will end. This phase that's coming up, basically what you want to do is you want to stack right around where the beam is being cast, and then where you see these like slight purple lightning things over here, you either want to go left or right depending on where you see the slight purple lightning things initially. And then it's going to be really hard, but basically you just have to like look down and figure out where there is space along all this purple mass. If you look kind of closely, there's basically what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're constantly ahead of that beam. And if you look closely, it kind of phases in and out, but it'll kind of show you where it's going to have the next area be open for you to go to. And you're basically just kind of like, it's basically a constantly moving maze. So you're just moving around this. It's pretty difficult to do. It's going to take a lot of practice, but that's pretty much what you want to do. That's another mechanic I forgot to mention, is basically a life drain. You want to make sure that whenever you see that, you go ahead and run in front of someone that has it in order to pick it up, and then someone else will run in front of you, and you just keep doing that. But that's pretty much the entire fight right there. So here we got 3 spectrums. Make sure that the blue one does not highlight the blue ad. So blue will pretty much just stay wherever they are as long as they know that there's not a blue ad within that cone. Yellow just keeps constantly moving, so you have to move with yellow. And red is just whoever's targeted by red just needs to make sure that they're constantly moving around the entire platform in a circle, and every time they see a ad get highlighted by the red, which is how you see them, is whenever the cone highlights him. So he's just running around, the cone of light has highlighted that red ad, so now we all kill it. And being ranged, you just keep staying in yellow while you DPS the red ads whenever they come out. You'll probably want to be kind of closest to the center just because some of the ads are pretty far. So you want to be close to the center while you're still in yellow in order to stay in yellow but DPS to the red ads. So that was that one Force of Will, and that's Lingering Gaze. Force of Will, you just sidestep. Lingering Gaze, you just run all the way to the back. And now we got the beam again. So beam, you just go ahead and do that. It could be on the left side or it could be on the right side of the beam, just wherever you see the little lightning, the very light lightning arcs. And then you just do your best to try and figure out where the initial empty space will be, and then from there you're just going to be moving away from the beam, and the path available will always be away from the beam. So you just keep DPSing the boss while you figure out exactly where the empty path is. It can be pretty hard to see, but you can kind of see a little bit of where it is or where it's about to be. Yeah, you can see the life thing there. So now that that phase is done with, now you just gotta take care of any of the little life drains. So I saw that, so I went in front of them so that I could take that. And you just repeat. There's Force of Will. Whenever you see that, just make sure you sidestep it. And now we're about to get another light spectrum, so whoever blue is just needs to make sure that blue is not in their cone of light, and then just stay there. And then red just needs to make sure they're constantly rotating around, stopping whenever they find a red ad. And then whoever's in yellow, like me, just slowly rotates with yellow and DPSs the red ad whenever they become seeable, using the red cone. So there's a second ad, killing it while staying in the yellow cone. And we should be finding you're going to take damage as well while you're in these cones. The longer you're in the cones, the greater damage you'll take, which is why it's kind of like a soft enrage for why you need to get those ads down quickly. Just FYI. But that's not, aside from just DPSing the ads, that's not really anything you have to worry about. And if you do have red or blue on you initially, just be aware that you will have to either stay in place if you are blue and make sure that there's no blue ad in your cone, or if you're red, that you'll have to make sure you're rotating around the platform. And so it's pretty much same thing again, just you can see on this time it actually spawned to the left as opposed to the right. So now we just stay on the left and look for the clear area, and that's pretty much it. So all in all, it's a pretty tough fight to learn, especially that last part, but hopefully this guide helps you, and thanks for watching.